Time is money, especially in the airline industry. Every minute of delay adds costs, diminishes the chance of making a connection, and generally decreases customer satisfaction. Many factors influence on-time performance, such as the weather, airport congestion levels, and various other unexpected elements that impact airline operations. Therefore, it's a difficult task to have every flight depart and arrive on time in the airline industry. However, using these factors to our advantage, we can predict which flights are going to be delayed and for how long. Then, we can adjust our planning accordingly. That is why BCG and KLM developed Pathfinder, a business solution for smart tail assignment that maximizes the flight schedule for robustness and/or aircraft utilization. The principle is simple. Pathfinder takes the factors that influence delays and uses these to predict a delay distribution for every scheduled flight. These distributions are visualized with the aid of triangles. The distribution differs per flight. The wider the distribution, the harder it is to predict the delay. The highest point of the distribution indicates the most likely length of delay. For instance, a flight in holiday season to a busy destination is often more than 30 minutes late, whereas a flight to an airport with low traffic and good weather is rarely delayed more than 5 minutes. Pathfinder then combines the existing schedule with these delay distributions and indicates a potential problem if the predicted delay has a high chance of propagating to the following flight. Then, taking into account millions of variables and constraints, it optimizes the assignment of scheduled flights to tails in less than 10 minutes, like in the example being shown. When examining this propagation, Pathfinder does not only consider the next flight that follows, but also all subsequent flights on the same day that may be affected, taking into account delay propagation across all full fleet lines. Also, Pathfinder looks at all airplanes and flights simultaneously. Before developing Pathfinder, the maintenance department collected the specifications detailing which flights could be operated by which tail and used a tool to create a schedule the day before operations. When Pathfinder is implemented, it uses the delay prediction and cost parameters to find an optimal tail allocation, whilst, of course, respecting all tail rules and maintenance requirements.
My name is Victor Pinto and I work at OCCLU department. We use Pathfinder every day, and the big advantage of Pathfinder is that it also takes into account delay prediction of every flight, which is a very good thing of Pathfinder.
One day before the day of operations, the schedule manager on duty opens Pathfinder, where he can easily see the default tail assignment for all scheduled flights, including delay distributions and scheduled maintenance time. On the y-axis, the schedule manager finds all tails, while on the x-axis he can find all flights for the full day in scope. The different colors of the boxes indicate the mutability of the flight. Flights colored in light blue are non-mutable, whereas flights in dark blue are mutable. The gray boxes refer to maintenance. Flights with red triangles are very likely to lead to propagating delays. For instance, due to a large predicted storm, this flight will most likely face a delay, indicated by the wide triangle. Consequently, the subsequent flight, which is bound to depart shortly after the arrival of this flight, has a high chance of being delayed as well. Now, the schedule manager asks Pathfinder to calculate the optimal new schedule, which is done in less than 10 minutes. Pathfinder does this by reassigning flights to tails. By highlighting the swapped flights in yellow, Pathfinder enables the schedule manager to easily track the changes proposed. Either before or after the run, the schedule manager can manually make adjustments if there is important additional information available. Pathfinder then combines the employee's expertise with its computing power and creates a new optimal schedule. Pathfinder uses state-of-the-art algorithms, enabling it to compare millions of possible tail assignments, something humans will never be capable of. Pathfinder optimizes the given flight schedule based on 4 main components: tail information, delay predictions, constraints, and cost parameters. Tail information includes the number and specification of tails in the fleet and minimal ground times per tail and per airport. Secondly, Pathfinder predicts delays. Or, more precisely, it predicts delay distributions based on factors like departure time, airport, destination, and weather. To compute these delay distributions, we use state-of-the-art deep learning models. The optimization is restricted by constraints, such as maintenance slots, commercial requirements, or logical requirements such as assigning each flight to a tail and avoiding flight overlaps. Finally, we calculate cost parameters on a passenger level to make trade-offs between different possible tail assignments. During the optimization, Pathfinder will examine every feasible solution and find the optimal one by minimizing the expected cost of a schedule. These costs consist of hard costs like passengers losing connections or fuel consumption per aircraft, and penalty costs like tail rule preferences on which tail we prefer to fly where. As an example, Pathfinder will compare the relative costs of a delay on the Barcelona flight filled with one-time holiday travelers with a delay on the London Heathrow flight full of priority business travelers. Or, for instance, a flight with many passengers connecting to a once-a-day intercontinental flight.
Hello, my name is Anne Venema. I'm Business Development Manager within the Operation Control Department. Together with the LU department, we have been working on the development of a new tool. And what we have seen is that the usage of this tool, the tool is used every day, leads to a higher probability that we will be able to ensure that on the day of operations, all the flights have sufficient ground time.
Pathfinder can reduce expected delays by up to 15% and so help reduce costs and at the same time increase customer satisfaction. The business solution is already developed at several carriers around the globe and generates value quickly. At one of these carriers, it only took 8 weeks before Pathfinder was in daily use. We are excited to continue our digital journey at KLM, but also at other carriers to help employees make the best decisions with the business support tool both for the airline and for their customers.